Okay, so I got some warm black coffee with me. I'm ready. I don't know what's going on with my hair today either, okay? It's just a mess of bobby pins and a headband, and I did the best I could, honestly. And this is what we're working with today. Well, hello there, welcome back. Today I'm here to do the coffee book tag. A few weeks ago I did the Nope Trope book tag that was created by Zoe, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And so I was perusing YouTube, looking for some other fun book tags to do. And that's when I stumbled upon the coffee book tag that was created by Bangity Bangs. I have no idea if I said that right, but it's fine. This tag is made up of 8 questions all about coffee and books, because it's the fucking coffee book tag, Isabella, goddammit. No one told me to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I think we're way past the point where we actually need to be tagged in shit in order to do it, so... But yeah, without further ado, let's just get into the prompts. Okay, so number 1 is black coffee, name a series that's tough to get into but has hardcore fans. I'm confused. Am I supposed to talk about a series that was hard for me to get into, but I am a hardcore fan? Or one that I've never read or tried reading and has hardcore fans? I'm a dumb bitch. If we're talking about a book that was a bit hard for me to get into, but I ended up loving anyway and being a hardcore fan of, We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. At this point, this is coming in every single video, right? Like, I'm gonna take every opportunity I get to preach about the gospel. This book is so fucking good. The thing with this book is that the pacing of it is a bit off, okay? So like the first 200 pages or so are a bit slower, but they're not bad at all. But like, even though they are slower, there was no point where I was actually bored or that I actually was disliking the book, it was just a bit slower, and that's fine. The characters in this are spectacular and the romance is excellent, and the world building is amazing as well. Pick it up! This follows Zafira and Nazir. Zafira is sent on a quest for this object that can bring magic back into this world, and Nazir is sent to follow Zafira because she's the only one who can get to this object. And so he's supposed to follow her and get the object and then kill her. And if you've been here for any amount of time, then you know that my brand is ships that begin with the 2 people trying to kill each other. That's everything to me. I don't need anything else. Hafsa Faisal is talented, brilliant, incredible.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping.
And the writing in this is fucking gorgeous as well. So what more do you want? Pick this up. No. But if we're talking about a book that I personally find hard to get into, but everyone else is hardcore fans of, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I'm so fucking sorry, but if there's one thing that I'm not gonna do is start a series where every single book is over 1,000 pages long, when not all the books in the series are out yet. Okay? Like, what happens when the next book comes out and I don't remember a single thing that happened in the other ones? I'll have to reread a shit ton of 1,000 pages books just to understand what the fuck is happening. No! And I don't know, man, maybe I have commitment issues, okay? Because the commitment of starting a series is a lot. I have to be in the right mindset to start reading a book series, and if I do it, you bet your ass I'm gonna binge it. Because if I start a series, I just want to finish it. It makes me anxious thinking about reading one book in a series and never finishing it. The second question is Peppermint, Mocha. Name a book that gets more popular during the winter or festive time of year. Even though I live on the global south, when I think of Christmas and the holiday season, for some reason I always think of snow and winter. It's not even winter here. It's summer. It's fucking hot as hell. In Brazil, we have this tendency of how do I say menos presa? Underrating, that's the word. In Brazil, we have the tendency to underrate our own culture and to kind of adopt American culture instead, which is ridiculous and I hate it. but it's a thing that happens. And I think maybe that's the reason why when I think of Christmas time and holiday season and end of the year, I picture winter and snow. But yeah, when I think of holiday season and Christmas time and all that, what immediately comes to my mind is The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. This is the edition that I used to read back when I was a child. And it's so fucking gorgeous because it's got illustrations in it. Look at it. Oh, it's beautiful, but it's also very heavy, so I'm just gonna put it down now. But more specifically, I think about The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which is the second book in the series, because Santa Claus literally makes an appearance. So he shows up for a bit, gives some gifts to the children and all that. So it really reminds me of Christmas, and when I'm feeling particularly festive, I really like going back to this book, especially because I have so many childhood memories tied to it. Number 3 is Hot Chocolate. What is your favorite children's book? I could go with The Chronicles of Narnia again, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna try harder. The thing is, when I was a child, we were broke as fuck, okay? So we didn't have money to go around buying books. And so the only books that I read were the ones that were available in my school's library. And in my school's library, we only had Brazilian books, which I really appreciated, honestly, you know, because I read so many Brazilian books for children and for teens, and I think it really helped me with continuing to read Brazilian books as an adult. I have 3 editions here of books that I used to love as a child, and they are just so special to me, and I know that probably none of you are gonna know them, but I wanted to show you anyway. One of them is O Mistério das 5 Estrelas by Marcos Rey. And this is kind of a thriller, a murder mystery, if you will, that takes place in a hotel. I mean, the title literally translates to The Mystery of the 5-Star, as in 5-star hotel. And it follows this kid, I think his name was Leo, and he works at this hotel and a murder happens there, and for some reason he starts investigating it. I don't know, I don't remember the details and the specifics, but I used to love this book so much, okay? This is actually the second edition I have of it, because the first one I read it so much that the pages started falling off and all that. Then we have a book series that's called Os Caras, and there are many books in that series, but the one that I have here with me is A Droga do Amor by Pedro Bandeira. And I don't remember the specifics of this, to be honest with you. I do remember that it was about this group of kids who are all friends, and they investigate crimes. Apparently that's something that I used to like, you know, this whole crime investigating thing. That's not really something I reach for nowadays, so that's quite funny to me. And then the last one that I have here is Poderosa, O Diário de uma Garota que Tinha o Mundo na Mão by Sergio Klein. And this one is about this girl called Joanna, and whatever she wrote with her left hand became true. For example, there was this bit where her grandma died and she just wrote something along the lines of grandma so and so is still alive, and then her grandma was back to life. And I think she turned her grandma into a teenager as well at some point, which is wild. This was actually the first book that I ever owned, so this is very special to me, and it was the first book in a 5 or 6 book series, I guess. But I only read up until the 4th one, I think. Okay, so number 4 is Double Shot of Espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. And for this I have to go with Perfect Days by Rafael Montes. This book is a fucking emotional roller coaster, okay? This is about a guy who becomes obsessed with a woman he only met once, and he goes to great lengths to ensure that the two of them become a couple. And I mean, he goes to great lengths is the understatement of the year, because he is insane. This is kind of like a darker version of the TV show You know, with Ben Bagley. It's kind of like that, but way more fucked up. Because the thing is, this woman has absolutely no interest in being with this guy, so he does the logical thing, which is to kidnap her. And this is told from his point of view, so you really get a glimpse of what goes on in the head of this very fucked up person. I personally really love this book. I think it's fantastic. I was on the edge of my seat from start to finish. I couldn't predict where it was going, you know? Like, I thought I knew what was gonna happen, but then it went above and beyond. Whatever you think is gonna go down in this book, trust me, it's gonna be much worse than that. And this is ugly and gross and hopeless to the very end. So, you know, if you're ever in the mood for something that's very fucked up and that's gonna leave you mentally scarred, Perfect Days by Rafael Montes. Okay, so number 5 is Starbucks. Name a book you see everywhere. I had a hard time coming up with an answer for this one, but I think 2 books that I've seen quite a lot, or at least, you know, 2 books that I noticed quite a lot lately have been Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse and Legend Born by Tracy Dion. I've been seeing these 2 books everywhere and I've heard nothing but amazing things about them, so I really want to pick them up. But exchange rates right now.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Needless to say, exchange rates right now in Brazil are off the fucking charts. They are wild. So yeah, unfortunately, I just don't see Black Sun and Legend Born in my future anytime soon. Okay, so number 6 is The Hipster Coffee Shop. Give a book by an indie author a shout out. I have quite a few books by indie authors on my Kindle, but I haven't read them yet. But one book that I did read already and is by an indie author is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, and this book, yeah, this follows this girl. I don't remember her name. What is her name? Can we get her name? What's her fucking name? Jordan, that's her name. Okay, so this follows Jordan, who is a 19-year-old girl who has been dating this guy for a while, and something happens that forces the 2 of them to move into his father's house. And her relationship has been on the rocks for a while, you know, it has been rough and her boyfriend hasn't been giving her attention and all that. And slowly but surely, she starts falling in love with his dad. It sounds a lot more taboo than it actually is. There's actually no cheating involved on Jordan and Pike's part, you know, Jordan, the main character, and Pike, the father of her boyfriend. So there's no cheating involved on their part. So if that's something that turns you off, don't fret. This book is raunchy as fuck, okay? And the smut in it is impeccable. But even aside from that, the romance was fucking cute, okay? I was rooting for this couple to work out in the end the whole time. So yeah, if you're into romance and smut and age gap romances, pick this up. It's very fucking good. Okay, it's getting fucking hot in here. So number 7, oops, I accidentally got decaf. Name a book you were expecting more from. Please don't hate me for this, but A Song of Race and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. This was my most anticipated release of the year, and I was so fucking stoked for this. I really wanted to like it. I really thought I was going to like it. And I did like it, to be fair. You know, it wasn't a bad book by any means, but I was sorely disappointed. I think my main gripe with this book is that it really read like a prequel, you know? There was a lot of setup and not enough payoff. And the pacing was a bit weird too, because some things dragged on for way too long, while other things that I thought needed more time dedicated to them just flew through, you know, so. But yeah, I think the best way to describe this is that it felt like a prequel, in the sense that it felt like the beginning of these characters' stories didn't actually happen in this book. Like, this book was just the setup for the actual start of the story. So that's that. Again, not a bad book by any means. The world building was amazing. I really liked reading about these different cultures and all that, and these different societies, and, you know, all the political intrigue and the magical system. I loved all of that, and I loved Malik as well. But it just feels like this isn't the actual start of the story, you know, this is everything that came before it. But on a brighter note, I am really stoked for the sequel, because I think that now that all this setup is done, it's just gonna be significantly better. That word It's tricky as fuck. And finally, number 8, The Perfect Blend. Name a book or series that was both bitter and sweet, but ultimately satisfying. The Hunger Games by Susan Collins. Obviously, I feel like I've been saying this for every single video of mine, but this is my favorite book series of all time. It was such an important book series for me in my formative years, and it really made me feel validated in my anger at the face of injustice. These books are just so fucking amazing, okay? They are so poignant and they have so much relevant political and social commentary and so many important themes, and the characters are all amazing, and I feel like every single book accomplishes what it set out to do. I actually just finished my annual reread of this and I am so emotional about it, and there is a very, very long vlog coming your way. And I'm so excited to share this vlog with you. It was probably the video of mine that I worked the most on, and I go into so much depth about every single thing in this book, and I am so excited about it. This series is always going to be the easiest 5-star I ever hand out, okay? It's like, they are perfect. These books are perfect. Oh, but there's no such thing as a perfect book. Lies. Perfect. I mean, rationally, I know they're not. But yes, they are. Okay, that took a long time, and that's all I have for you today. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like it. And as always, I'll see you around.